Okay. Hey everybody. So today I am showing you what I do and how I make raw apple juice. So this is fun. I love doing stuff in the kitchen. I'm just one of those people. So I'm going to show you because I already started without you. So these are the apples I use. I think they're called like Empire apples or something, but I like the taste of these, so I get them all the time. So what I did, I used 4 of them. This is a apple corer, and I'm telling you, this thing makes life so easy. It sits down on there, just punches down, and it turns it into apple slices. You can get it for $1 at the dollar store. Trust me, you will be so happy you got it. So it cores the apple and leaves the inside, because remember, you don't want to eat apple seeds. They have arsenic in them, so they will kill you. So they cored the apple, so we don't eat the apple core, right? So we blended. I did 4 apples with I never use measurements, and I forget I need to tell you guys measurements. So I did about 500 milliliters. What is that? That is over a cup. Wait a minute. 1 cup is 240 milliliters, so about 2.5 cups. Okay. So I did about 2.5 cups of water, and I did 4 apples, and you see the size of them. So I think this is considered a medium apple. Okay. And so I blended, and it's gonna be real thick, like applesauce, of course. That's good. And then I strain. You can use this pulp. And remember, apple pulp is a really good binder, like for egg. So you can actually save that apple pulp and use it for cooking, baking goods. So all of these things I'm showing you, we are not wasting anything. We are using the whole thing. I actually will use the cores and grind them up and make them into compost for the soil. Okay, so as you can see, we have a nice clear juice here, and it does have fiber in it. And the reason I don't use a juicer is because I really don't want to extract out all the fiber from it, but I just wanted to get it thin enough where it's like really thin, a thin drink, instead of being really thick. So I love juice, but I have to have raw juice, because I can't with these bottle companies that juice, because they put sugar in them, and I don't want sugar in my diet, of course, because we are following the alkaline lifestyle. So we have right here, so we have our juice, and I'm gonna just have another bowl. I'm gonna put my pulp in, because I'm gonna save my pulp for baking. I had some ideas in my head for some muffins that I want to kind of put into use. So as you can see, my little thing is getting full. So hold on a second. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. So as you can see, the strainer works very well, but if you want to really get all the fiber, you can always use a nut bag. The nut bag will strain it dry and have the apple fiber really dry, but I like it a little bit wet so it can still be used in cooking and stuff. But you can still use it when it's dry, but it'll be more like a flour, a type of thick flour, than it would be for a binder. So you need to keep it a little wet if you're going to use it as an egg binder, okay? Because it has to be applesauce consistency. But if you want to use it as a flour, it would be really good. You can fold it into some recipes for some muffins or something like that, okay? And as you can see, I kept the skins on. I washed and kept the skins on. There is so much nutrition in the skin of an apple. A lot of anti-cancer agents are in the skin of an apple, but you got to be really diligent about soaking those apples and getting as much of that gunk off it can, because you know they put all kind of pesticides and stuff on these apples. They put pesticides, and they put all that wax and stuff that locks into pesticides. So one of the techniques that's really good is called blanching. where you dip the apples in really hot boiling water, and it'll melt off the wax if there's a wax on there. Okay, these are just, they have minimal wax on here, but they still are not, real apples are not this shiny. If you ever go to an apple orchard, you will notice that an apple is not shiny at all. It's not pretty at all. It really isn't. They're very dull in appearance. They're very dull in appearance. So I live in a state, I'm in Michigan, and this is an apple producing state. So they have places where you can go for most of the year and just pick apples. Okay, so so we have a better opportunity here to get apples without all of that stuff on it. Glory to God. So this is what you would do if you wanted to blanch the apple. I got these long skewer sticks that people use to barbecue meat with, right? I use these. You would poke it all the way through the apple. You would get a pot of boiling water and dip the apple down in the boiling water. And then you count to like 10, okay, and pull it out, and then you would start seeing the wax pulling off. Okay, and another thing, some people pour it on there in the sink and let it come off, but either way is fine. And then you will want to get a little brush, these little fruit and veggie brushes, and clean it with some sea salt. It's almost like giving yourself a scrub, right? And it'll get all of that stuff off, all that gunk and stuff off, so that you can actually be eating something nutritious. Your body won't have to be fighting something. So, of course, I use my spring water, as always. I use my Crystal Geyser. This is a really good water. I actually love using it because it's so cheap and economical. It's bottled at the source. You know, some people have some issues with Crystal Geyser. I don't care. But it's really good for me. So, I use Crystal Geyser. And like I said, about 2.5 cups of water versus for some medium apples. You blend and then strain. Keep your applesauce, okay? You can even freeze this if you're not going to use it. Now, this is all part of prepping, okay? This is all part of prepping. So you want to make sure during this whole process that you are, you know, prepping stuff to make it easier for you, okay? All right. So, if you don't have some things, there are some things that you're definitely going to need in this lifestyle. You're definitely going to need a blender. You're definitely going to need a food processor. You're going to need some really good utensils to peel and core things. I have my peeler. I use this sometimes for peeling my butternut squash. Sometimes I'll peel the apples. So it all depends on what mood I'm in, but for juicing, I keep the skins on. This here is for extraction of, this here is for the extraction of the key limes, okay? This here is to make zoodles. You can put zucchini. Zucchini works really well in here, and it will spiral it and make it into pasta. You can do any vegetable that's hard. It has to be a vegetable that's kind of hard or dense. But you can use butternut squash. If you can get the butternut squash shaped in this circle, you can use butternut squash as well. And it's a manual thing. Okay. And you always want one of these graters, because this comes in so handy, trust me, when you're dealing with nuts. And then, of course, there's the apple core, and then there's the strainers. If you need be, you should get a nut bag. And that is really beneficial for when you are making milks, especially milks with the nuts, because you want to strain out all the nuts. You don't want the consistency of drinking the nuts while you're trying to swallow the milk. That's really gross to me. I have a thing with consistency. It has to have a certain consistency with me. So what else? And if you don't have a nut bag, if you have a unused pantyhose, you can actually use that, because they have the same mesh, so they will strain the same. I used to use pantyhose all the time. That is about it for now. You know, as I think about something or I'm doing something, I always want to just let you guys know I am about to go do my ginger shot for the day, which is really pulling mucus. I am going to be starting my cleanse on Monday to go along with the groups. I have 2 groups that have started, the transitional group and the women's case study part 2 group, and I am going to be colon cleansing with them for support. So I have been doing mucus pulling with ginger, fresh ginger shots, and we are going to be doing colon cleanse. I'm going to excavate my intestines as usual. I swear it should be so squeaky clean down there. I feel like I colon cleanse every other month, but it's all good. So until next time, you guys take care.